Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
I'm Colin.
And this is Star Wars Conversations. Hey, how you doing, Colin?
I'm wicked, mate. Wicked. Totally awesome.
Another episode of Star Wars Conversations.
Yeah.
And we should welcome everyone to our 30th episode.
30?
30. We've
the big
made it this far. We're 30 in.
Who would believe it? Well, that means we're not far off a year then.
Yeah, right?
Does it? Does that mean that? I
don't
know. No, it doesn't. No. November
will be a year. Yeah. So
amazing.
We're not far off it in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's insignificant time, I guess, in the
power of the Force.
Yes. Do not get so excited.
Don't fail me again.
Yes. Dog Vader. Ooh. Well done to you, Jay, for 30 episodes. What an amazing job you've done.
Well, thank you, and well done to you too.
Oh, thank you.
No, it was both of us.
Yeah, it was. And also, we must thank the Taylor Network of Podcasts.
Of course.
A fantastic supporter of us.
And all our viewers and listeners.
And all the viewers and listeners. And all those brilliant people that respond to all my things and posts on Facebook.
Oh, there are so many of those.
Unindated. Thanks, guys. Anyway, so do you want to go round the rim?
Let's go around the rim.
Round the rim. Awesome. Right. Well, we've got two good bits of news for you, Jay, to talk about. Me old chum. First one, old matey boy, Alden
Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich. He needs a acting coach.
Yeah, well, apparently so. So obviously, with all the info that's come out about the firing of Lord Miller, I haven't actually got any articles up in front of me about this, so I'm just going off memory.
How unprofessional.
But yeah, so after them being fired, there's been talk of an acting coach being brought on board to help him to get on track with being Han Solo. Now, it's not unusual in movies to have an acting coach brought in to help actors.
Is it?
Yeah, that happens regularly. However, this is quite late in the game, so you think by now...
They should have taught him how to act before, really.
Yeah. And there's been sort of like two stories going around. There's been... You hear one side where it's like, oh, everyone's very happy with the way that he's acting and all that kind of stuff. And then you see another article saying, oh, he's not doing a good job.
He's a rub-a-dub-dubs.
I have a feeling that it could be connected to, you know how they said that Lord Miller is doing a lot of improv and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to guess that he probably started out, working on the Han Solo character, and then they've gone into this whole different direction of doing the acting side of things that might have just brought him off track from playing it the way that he necessarily initially was going to play him. So
they
maybe
put him off.
Yeah, so now, they've got a new director in Ron Howard, who apparently, by the way...
E. Cunningham.
Yeah, when with Lord and Miller, apparently they weren't doing a very good job of working with the crew either. They were not giving them very much in the way of direction.
They're bloody jokers, aren't they?
Apparently they were setting up like 3 shots on camera. So you had 3 different camera angles, and that was it throughout the whole movie. Whereas normally you'd have like sort of 12 to 15 different camera angles, And apparently when Ron Howard walked onto the set, the crew just erupted in applause. All really, really happy that they'd got him in, and it's going to be a whole new direction. Now I'm wondering how much is going to be reshot here.
I reckon all of it.
It could be a really high amount. It could be all of it, or it could be like sort of 80-85% or something like that. I mean, apparently with Rogue One it was near 70% reshoot. So
was it?
Apparently so, yeah. So with that was just a thought bubble. Did you hear that sound?
Yeah, I wonder what that was.
There's my work. There's an email coming in.
Yeah, don't you? Yeah, why are they calling you on a Saturday?
Yeah, why are they calling me on a Saturday? It's just crazy. Anyway, um, so yeah, I mean, it could be huge reshoots, and there's definitely trouble, you know, going on with the Star Wars movies now, where they've tried to take them in a different direction. But Star Wars has always had problems, you know, like they've always had some.
It's never an easy one, is it?
But they always seem to come through at the end. So I am confident with them sort of doing it right. And
Shall I tell you what?
If they did say, "Hey, look, we've got to reshoot the whole thing,"
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset because I'd think, okay, well, they want to get it right, you know. And
I think they should. I think they should just get. To be honest, the more I think about it, I'm pretty glad those two fellas are gone, and I think they should just wipe out everything they've done. I don't think they should get any credits. It sounds like they were jokers.
They
know what they were doing.
Will get credits. I think it's
of course they will.
Yeah, because it's not up to Lucasfilm or anyone like that. It's up to
the director guild thing.
The Directors Guild has to do that. But
the Guild of Directors.
I think you know, the shoe was meant to end in July. They've said it's going to go on through September now, but they're not changing the release date yet. So yeah. So far it's still going to be May of next year. But yeah, Ordinary and Right. I don't think that the acting coach is as big of a deal as a lot of people are making out. I think that it is probably just to get him back on track.
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
I mean, you know, you never know. Like, obviously, we're not there. We don't know how he's acting, you know.
But this is that problem, Jay. We're not there. If we were there, we'd have sorted the bloody thing out.
It would be out already.
Yeah. It'd be amazing. I'd be Chewie, you'd be Han.
Yeah.
It'd be wicked.
You know, apparently Lord and Miller were doing stuff like just chilling out in the Millennium Falcon, and they weren't starting shooting till like middle of the afternoon and stuff, and Kathleen Kennedy was like, what the hell's going on here?
I don't think they've got a very good work ethic, Jay.
Yeah, certainly not on this. I mean, they've done good movies, you know, but maybe this was just a bit too much for them. You know, one of the things they didn't like is they want to do things their way, but this is a franchise movie, you know, and...
This is Star Wars, for God's sake.
And the studio's going to have a big say in what goes and what doesn't go, you know, and I know that directors want to, because of the art, I want to do my own independent things. Like, yeah, but that's when you do an indie movie. When you're doing this, you've got to stick to, you know, what
Star Wars Bible,
do, of course, yeah. And there's a lot of like people involved with Star Wars saying, you know, what you can do, the story group and all that kind of stuff as well. And of course, they want to present Star Wars to the public in a particular way. Like, they, you know, it has, you know, they want everyone to be able to enjoy it. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here. But as we were talking off camera, you know, about Baby Driver, that's the guy that I had originally wanted to play Solo. Yeah. So I hope that Ordinary and Right can get back on track. I mean, for him, as much as anything, he doesn't want to go out there and do a bad performance because it just looks bad on him, and it could be damaging to his career, you know. Yeah, so thoughts?
Yeah, like I say, I'm just praying it's going to be good. It does worry me because like, it's just weird how there's such conflicting stories coming out. It'd be, you know, if you had the same story all the time, you know, you should get a feel. But again, I think the problem is these days we know too much. Yeah. Like, in the old days, you didn't know all this stuff was going on.
That's
you just saw the film and you enjoyed the film.
And you didn't, yeah, exactly. So you didn't know, like, so any kind of stuff could have happened. Yeah. But you were unaware of it until
you saw the making of documentary on ITV. You know, when it came out cinema, and you go, oh, the making of magic of the creatures of Return of Jedi, and you'll be like, yeah, I love this. They were my favourite things, those things, those making of things. They
were good, weren't they? It was stuff that you kind of looked forward to in those days. Oh, wow, I get to see what happened. Whereas now it's like, I get to see that on pretty much every movie.
Yeah, and like you were like, oh, back Harry Fisher and Mark Hamill, they seem really like cool people because you didn't know anything about them until you saw those things. I mean, it's cool. Anyway, we're old. That's yesterday. Let's talk about the now. The now is computer games. That's what cool kids are doing.
Video games,
man. Pew 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 pew. So we got some more news on the that game that was sort of talked about last year, isn't it?
Yes, this is Visceral's new Star Wars game.
That's the one.
And when it was first talked about, it was going to be, well, they talked about it as a game where you played a young Han Solo.
Yeah.
But that's been reworked now, so you're no longer.
Well, there were first order pictures.
Yeah.
First order banners in the pictures that they released last year, wasn't there?
No, they're Imperial. They're Imperial banners.
No, first order
The one
ones.
where he's running along and there's a bridge and they're jumping over a bridge.
Oh God! I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm sure it's first order.
It's been reworked now so that you are not playing Han Solo. Instead, you're playing a smuggler called Dodger.
That's a rubbish name.
This hasn't happened for a while, but the game is set between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back.
Don't put it there. Look, I'm sure it was set in the First Order time.
I don't remember that. I remember them saying it being about Han Solo.
Bollocks.
Anyway.
I want a game set in First Order time.
Well, I'm sure you'll get
before Force Awakens.
I'm sure you'll get one. But in this one, you're playing a character called Dodger. He's a smuggler, and he's an Alderaanian human. So, obviously, Alderaan got destroyed, and the Empire...
Boo-hoo!
The Empire hunting down and killing any survivors from Alderaan, seems.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. But
because in the comics, because the Alderaan story, anytime there's a story about Princess Leia, they seem to talk about Alderaan now, because they're all set in the same bloody time period as well. And the mini-series that she had, and the Star Wars annual, I think both touched on characters from Alderaan and her rounding people up and trying to sort things out. I don't want to hear more. I've had enough of bloody Alderaan.
Well, you're getting more, Colin. You're getting more. But this guy Dodger, he blames the Rebel Alliance for the disaster and the escalating conflict. However, he soon ends up being chased by Imperials who want to kill him.
Maybe they should have the characters from Beyond the Stars, whatever it's called. What was the Lost Stars?
I don't think they would do that because obviously it came out in the book and they don't want to do anything that will affect what you read in that book, because obviously these are meant to be canon, these games. But apparently Dodger's trying to raise enough money to bribe corrupt Imperials to take down his bounty. He takes the odd job for Jabba. To secure the funds. Jabba ranks. And he finds out that the Empire are expanding. He finds out the Empire expanding to take over the Outer Rim. So yeah, it just goes into like different clans and stuff like that. He'll get involved with, it sounds like it could be quite fun. You're going to get to play this character. He's got an R2 type unit with him called Doc, which is meant to be a female. She's white and red, and she has the designs. She has the designs of the original...
Who are these idiots naming things?
The original...
rubbish. Doc and bloody Dodge.
The original Ralph McCoy designs for R2, that's what she looks like. And this character's going to work as a medic.
Wasn't that what Chopper was based on?
The main character. Maybe a little bit, but this one's got like... I think... Do you remember it had like antennas and like dishes and shit like that coming out of its head? So this is what this one's going to look like.
Can they have... BT in it?
Who knows?
I love him.
Who knows? But you know what? This does actually look like it could be quite fun. I mean, the graphics look good. You know what? The thing that I hate is when the games are really linear. And unfortunately, I think that it is going to be really linear because you follow a story. And I kind of like the freedom to move around a bit more. You know,
Agreed.
Like, if you imagine, say in Rogue One, like Jedi, the Holy City.
Yeah.
I would love to just be able to walk around anywhere in a city and just do what I want. You know, I don't know how free roaming this will be, but I do like how it looks. Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about the way the gameplay? I mean, we haven't seen any yet, so we don't know. But what do you think about it being linear as opposed to a bit more free roaming?
I do like games that have got a really clear story and I'm very clear what I need to do. But I think the ones that balance it best are the ones that have got that clear story, but you can just stop and have a look around as well, like the Arkham games, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So there's you could just literally play the story if you want, or you've got the option to go wander around and do little side things and stuff like that. So that's the best way I'd like it to be.
The thing, yeah, and it has to be that way really because, you know, with it being canon and everything. This is why I don't really want games to be canon because, like, not this game, but if you take, for example, Grand Theft Auto, right? I would love a Star Wars type game where you could have, you know, you're on a map. There could be other players in there. There would be more rules as to how you would act depending on what faction you're in. So let's say you play a stormtrooper, then you need to act like an Imperial stormtrooper and do what they do. So you'd have those kind of things holding you off. But I would love, you know, maybe you could be like a smuggler. You could be any type of character, and you would do
dirty little smuggler,
you know. And then, you know, as time comes out, they could release different maps being different planets. And have like space bits in between where, you know, you get in a ship and fly from one place to another and have some space battles. And I'd really love to have that, but of course they wouldn't be canon because there'd be so much freedom. The only thing that I would like to put a hold on there would be Jedi, because otherwise it'd be like 5,000 Jedi running around. It's like, oh, come on, man, that's lame.
But it could be Sith, 5,000 Sith. That'd be cool.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I think that's it for the video games, unless you've got anything else to add.
No, only that I've been looking at all the stuff for the Battlefront 2.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, God, I am getting excited.
Oh, you see, I haven't been looking at it because I'm just not interested in it.
It looks good. And, again, in this, you can play the different heroes in all the different eras. So, again, that's not canon. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
But it does look wicked. And I'm really tempted to buy the deluxe edition and pre-order it.
The only thing that, as I said, I haven't really looked too much into it, but if you remember the old Battlefront 2...
Yeah, that's brilliant.
If it had that in it...
I think it is more in line with that.
Really? So, like, you could be running around on a ship, get into a TIE fighter and fly out.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay, that interests me.
And
I'll wait until people have got it and played it first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of... gameplay with Darth Maul, and like when he can like pick up 4 troopers at once with the Force and throw them in 4 different directions and stuff like that. Wicked.
Well,
it looks cool, man.
As I say, I'll probably wait until a few people got it, maybe yourself, and see what people think. And then,
I'm gonna get it.
Then I'll decide if I'm going to buy it or not. But the first one put me off so much. I really
and also
enjoyed
no season pass as well. That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Basically, they're not going to charge for any updates.
Cool.
So again, that's probably another reason why I'll probably get the deluxe edition then, because I thought, well, instead of buying a season pass, I'll just buy the better version.
Yeah, because the first one wasn't a completed game.
No, not at all.
Cool. All right, so on to
Carlin's Comic Corner. Yeah, Comic Corner. So, last week I said we were going to talk about the most recent issue of Star Wars, which was the penultimate part of the Screaming Citadel storyline, and hopefully Dr. Aphra, which will be the last part of it. But I haven't read Dr. Aphra. I don't know if it's out yet, but I haven't found it. So, what I thought was I'd park that little beauty and save that till we get the whole story, and then I can actually talk about it rather than have a meaningless conversation about a comic that took me 5 seconds to read. And then I have actually read 3 Star Wars comics this week.
Okay, what ones are they?
I've read Poe Dameron Annual #1. I've read Darth Vader #2 and Darth Maul #3.
So I'm quite interested to hear about the Darth Vader one. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, man. Well, let me tell you all about it, my friend. I'm just going to find my notes. 2 seconds. So, Darth Vader #2. Let's start with that bad boy. It was written by Charles Soules. The artist is Giuseppe Camuncoli, possibly. Camuncoli. And inked by Smith. And as I told you last time, it's all about the Emperor being a dick to Darth Vader.
That's why I wanted to hear about it.
So it's set immediately after the events of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Vader's got his new suit, and he's got to basically make his own lightsaber. And so Sheev dumped him on a planet.
Right, yeah.
And then he had to sort himself out.
Mm-hmm.
So this comic jumps straight into action, really. Somehow Vader's got a ship, because at the end of the last issue, he was about to kill a load of people to nick the ship.
And Sheev had said, "Oh, they've probably stolen your ship or something, didn't they?"
But he never
the
left
ship
one.
I left here is gone.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And so it left with Vader about to kick a load of arse to get a ship. And this, I thought I'd missed something at first, because he's in a ship at the beginning of this, so I'm assuming he did that, and that was all off screen. And it cuts to this sort of base which was an Imperial, some kind of rebel base where the Jedi stuff was being kept. Not rebel, what they were called then, the Republic, the old Republic. Yeah. And so there's a garrison of clone troopers still guarding it, and they're having a bit of a chat about, oh yeah, man, I've heard that they're going to shut down the Camino plants and stuff like that. And, we're going to be obsolete. And, oh, man, I wish we were having a battle, man. That's what we're born for. All this cool stuff. And so that guy on it is a bit bored. And there's also Vader flying around. And so he goes there. He wants to get some information from that place. But rather than... He's got this little droid thing going, oh, send your security... Oh, shall I send the security clearance so they know who you are? Right? Vader just says no, and he just goes there, fights a load of the clone troopers in the space battle, just kills them all, and then boards this thing and basically kicks all their asses without telling them who he is. And they're going, oh, are you some kind of Jedi? And he just basically doesn't bother saying, no, I'm Vader. He just kills everyone.
Oh.
And he gets the information. That's the story, basically. But it was good. That is super cool. Only knew the power of the dark side. Anyway, yeah. So that's all good. The real interesting bit in this is they start talking about Grey Jedis.
Ah, okay.
There's a quote. Let me find it. Because basically, because Vader's got to find a Jedi so he can nick his lightsaber crystal. Yes. That's basically his challenge.
So that is what he's got to do. He's got to get the lightsaber, then take the crystal out of it.
Yeah, right. But he can't just get an old lightsaber. He's got to win the lightsaber by defeating the Jedi. So he's decided what he goes to this place for is to find out the mission logs from the old Jedi temple, so he can find out if there were, pardon me, any Jedi pursuing Barish. Now, Daniel, our mate Daniel, put a thing up on the Facebook group about this. Mm-hmm. Anyone pursuing Barish has sworn to refrain from activities related to the Order, complete disengagement from anything but the Force, and it is a type of penance. While a Barish taker would have felt the purge, they would not have allowed themselves to respond to it or take any kind of action. So basically, he wants to just find
someone that might have become one of his Jedis, and then he can just go and kill him. But what I thought was particularly interesting is, again, and we've talked about this before, the Star Wars team seem to love a theme, don't they? And they rather than just have it in one thing, it seems to have to be in every single thing that happens in Star Wars now. So this, grey Jedi, different types of Jedi worshippers, it's bloody getting on my tits.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like they mention it in one thing, and then all of a sudden you hear about it everywhere. And it's like, we've never heard of this before, but all of a sudden it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah. And obviously this is all about setting up what's happening with Luke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's obviously because I'm guessing that's what Luke's done. He's taken this barracks.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he's obviously upset. He's crying in his little bloody island because he's so sad because he was to be killed. So, yeah, it's just annoying me a little bit because, do something different. We've got all these different bloody things. Don't tell the same story in all of them.
Yeah, they don't need to ram the same
and don't
thing
set it bloody
the
between the crappy Star Wars and...
Do we have to do that again?
No.
Okay.
Once is enough.
Okay. Are you sure?
Anyway, so the good thing is, it actually was an entertaining comic. It was great art. Story's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, enjoyed that one.
Awesome.
Darth Maul number 3.
Yeah.
You tell you about that bad boy?
Yeah, go for it.
I ain't going to tell you much apart from it was all good. I really like the art.
So
again, this is Cullen Bunn writing.
Did we end on Maul meets a Jedi, doesn't he? Like, is there some Twi'lek Jedi?
Oh, this is number 4. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Yes. So written by Cullen Bunn, art by Luke Ross, colours by Nolan Woodard. So how it was left last time was Maul basically wants to have a fight with a Jedi because he's pissed off with the Jedis because he thinks they've wiped out the Sith and they've treated everyone badly.
Yeah.
He's eggy. He's been told by Emperor he can't reveal himself, so he's going on a little sneaky secret mission, and he's found out that someone had a Padawan they captured and they were going to put him up for auction. And so he gate crashed this auction with Cad Bane and Aura Singh as his little lackeys. Yeah?
Yeah.
And he was going to try and steal her before the auction, but he got caught. And then he let someone buy them, and then they just went and tried to rob her from the people that bought them. And then the twist at the end was this woman that organises the auction blew up that ship, made them crash on a planet, and now it's a bit Hunger Games. So all those people that were bidding are now in a game to go and kill these guys, kill Darth Maul and the bloody Padawan.
Yeah.
Now, art's fantastic. There's some great shots and some really good. I'll send you it over. There's a great bit with all the different types of people trying to hunt them. So there's a load of like Bosk fellas, and there's a load of IG-88 kind of robot-y type things. And there's some other ones with a funny head that I don't know who they are. And there's some ones that look a bit like Orko with a big helmet on. So that's quite cool. And the art's quite cool. And I really there's also a page which would really made me feel a bit creepy, right? There's this little ratty type bloke, and he pulled out this protocol droid's eyes in the last issue. He was being a bit of a dick. And obviously in the crash, he's come out and he's crawling. He's all half squashed, his eyes hanging out. And then the protocol droid's walking around as well, and he's going, "Oh, help me!" And then basically the protocol droid says, "Oh, perhaps if I could see, I might help." That kind of thing. It's just a really I just found it a really creepy page. It was like Colin Bunn at his best. Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, there's nothing particular. It just, it's like, I don't feel right. So, but that's Cullen Bunn at his best. That's the sort of stuff he does. So, well done there, Cullen. But my negative on this is Darth Maul wants to kill this Padawan, yeah? But instead of just thinking, right, we've crashed, we're going to be chased, let's just kill this Padawan and get that out of the way, and then I can worry about getting out of here. No. He's taken her with her. He basically told Cad Bane and that to go and try and find a ship, and they're going to distract because obviously they're the people that everyone's hunting.
Yeah.
And so he's taking her with her, and he's saying, "No, I've got to save her. I've got to do it like a special rite or something to kill you." And he even lets her out of her bonds and lets her have a weapon, so they can start fighting the other people together.
It's a bit honourable for a Sith, isn't it?
I just don't know why. I mean, like I say, they've tried to explain it because you've got to do some kind of ritual, but it don't ring true to me, pal.
Well, when you're a bad guy, you don't give a damn.
When you're a bad guy, just kill. But what? It's just weird. It's just slightly weird because I just don't know why he wants to.
Why he would do that?
It's just a bit. Yeah. But then again, it is a bit like we said on the first issue. It's almost like he was a stalker, like a serial killer, building up the will to actually kill someone for the first time. It's very reminiscent of that, and he's sort of dexterous in his thought process, it seems. But yeah, again, this is a good comic. It's I mean, again, it's one of those ones that you can just read, and
the bits I read I liked.
The surface of it, it's like, oh yeah, it's just quick story, but yeah, actually, there's more. This one actually has me thinking, so it's interesting. It's again, what I like about it is it's a different story. It's not what everyone else is telling you.
Side note,
no grey Jedis in it.
Side note: did the Darth Vader one have on those stupid bits at the back again?
No, but they seem to only do it in the first issues.
Right, okay.
It seems to be a Marvel thing. Now put the price up on the first issue and stick a crappy backstory at the end of it.
In there, yeah.
And make you pay more. So
pay more for something you don't even want.
Yeah. Marvel, you suck. Anyway, so that's cool. I like that comic. And then the last one was the Poe Dameron one.
Oh, yeah. This was the annual.
Yeah. I wouldn't bother getting it if I were you, Jay.
Okay, I won't.
What happens in it? Nothing.
Oh.
I didn't really like it. It was basically Poe being told that he's brilliant and Leia moaning at him, but he doesn't follow orders, and then it cuts to him floating around in space, and he's got to get on he's got to board something and get out of it. Just boring.
Right, yeah, it does sound like it'd be boring.
Yeah, the art wasn't that great. That was by Nick Varela. The writer was Robbie Thompson. Never heard of him either. Yeah, so I guess ultimately it's an annual. The only thing is, the only thing that's notable that happens in it is that they discover that Terex is still alive. But he's not really Terex. He's not really alive. He's Lowbody. So, so to be honest, I'll give it a miss if I were you. Not essential. Nothing really happens. So, yeah, a bit of a waste of money, to be honest.
Cool. Well, I'm glad I didn't waste my money on it.
Yeah, I wasted money for you guys. That's a service that you can count on me to do. I will waste my money on Star Wars comics. So that's the end of my comic roundup for this week. Hope you found that interesting, viewers and listeners.
That was extremely interesting, and that's also it for us this week.
It certainly is, my friend.
So, before we go, we'll just let them know about the Taylor Network of podcasts. That's the place they can contact us or see our show on, isn't it?
Yeah, on the old, if you love podcasts, then subscribe to that feed because it's awesome. You can get it on Stitcher and iTunes and on the website and on the Facebook thing. Loads of different geeky and pop culture and comic-based podcasts, including our brilliant one, Go Trek Yourself, by those wacky Star Trek-loving fellas, Daryl and JK. Nothing's on. Magnum Cast, Paradigm Shift, Gotham by Geek, Wade's World, double page spread, if I said that, probably. Sunday Comics, which is great. Just a load of great stuff.
You should just have a poster in front of you with all the names of their shows.
You should just do a big roll-up thing. Just go, like really fast.
So yeah, you can find us on Taylor Network Podcast. You can also find us all over the interwebs.
We're everywhere.
On all the social media. We're on the Facebook group where this all started, is Star Wars Conversations. Look us up, join up, comment. Have a conversation. That's what
you can put GIFs on there.
In fact, even in this YouTube video, if you like it, please subscribe to it, and just leave some comments. The comments aren't just to talk to us, but they're to have a conversation with everyone else. So join the conversation. That's what this is all about. That's what we want to encourage.
And on our own podcast feed, we've got Sal's Conversations podcast feed as well. You can leave a comment. You can leave a review. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
If you're out there, just let us know.
And and you can find us on Twitter. You can find Colin
at Captain Colin.
And you can find me at EagleEye1933. So, that's it for this week for episode 30. And until next time,
punch it, Chewie.
May the Force be with you.
Bye.